FIFA 22 Premier League CDMs ranked based on cheap, good and elite. Let's get into it, boys. So if you guys don't know, I've started this new series basically where I am going through all the top 5 leagues, Liga 1, Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga and the Premier League, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rank like strikers, wingers, cams, centre-mid CDMs, fullbacks, centre-backs and goalies for each and every single league. So there's going to be like 30 of these videos, and we are now up to the CDMs for the Premier League. These do take a while, like I'm talking probably 1.5 hours per video to obviously record, write down, download the cards and then obviously edit it. So if you do enjoy, if this does help you out, make sure to drop a like and a sub. I would just like to clarify as well, we are, doing it strictly on positions. We did centre mids last video, we did centre mids Premier League, which will be up on the channel for you guys now. Now CDMs, this is not centre mids you play at CDMs, this is purely CDMs, alright? And also, I would like to mention, we have left out lots of players that, the bad CDMs, right, with 40 pace, like we're not going to be, we're not going to be ranking Allan. So all of the CDMs that we have missed out is simply not better than any of these players on the screen, and ones I'll definitely avoid, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I've got 13 Premier League CDMs here, so let's go, boys. Now the first player we are going to put in the cheap slot, and the cheap slot doesn't necessarily mean they are bad, it can even mean, they're not as good as the players in the good slot, or they're just, cheap little gems for the beginning of the game. First one is going to be Rodri for Manchester City. Now, you may be a little bit confused, like, damn, 86 rated, he's a walkout, why are you putting him in a cheap tier? And it is simply because he's got 62 pace, and I feel like he's just not fast enough to compete with my players, or with my CDMs that I have put in a good tier. Even with his shadow, he goes to 72, 73 pace, but as you guys know, EA, pace is just going to be abused this year. You've got centre-backs, you've got a 40-year-old Pepe at centre-back who got like a plus 14 pace. There's so much centre-backs. You've got a LaCroix with 88 pace, and how do you counter fast centre-backs? Fast players, Neymar's and Mbappe's, and 62 pace Rodri simply will not be able to keep up. So he's going to be the first CDM in the cheap tier. Next one, very similar to Rodri, although he's relatively high rated, he is still sadly not fast enough, and that is Jordan Henderson. I believe he's 65 pace or 66 pace, so it is a little bit better, and with a shadow he will go to around that 75-76 mark. He's got good defensive passing and physical stats. His dribbling ain't great, and his body type as well isn't anything spectacular, but he is the other player that does make it into the cheap tier. Now the other 4 players we have got are not as high rated, and they are genuinely relatively cheap ones that you'll be looking to get in your starting team. Starting off, boys, we have gone for Declan Rice. He's an 82 rated, and he's got, I think, 67 pace, 68 pace. With a shadow on him, he'll go to 77, 78. Similar to Henderson, he's not the fastest, but his defending and physical is very, very nice, and he'll be an absolute unit in game. Next, boys, we have gone for 81 rated Calvin Phillips. I believe he's got he was 76 last year, so he's got a plus 5, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Calvin Phillips actually looks alright, and personally I would rank Calvin Phillips above Declan Rice. Reason behind it, yes, I know I've got quite similar pace, but Calvin Phillips has got a much better body type. He's much littler, so he's going to feel like much better on the ball. Not only that, he's got, I'm pretty sure, high work rates, or high medium work rates, which once again is very, very good, and also his agility and balance is significantly better than Declan Rice's, so I feel like Phillips, personally, I'd be taking over Declan Rice. Phillips is a very, very nice card you can start off with, and I wouldn't say he'd be more than 20,000 coins with all things considered. He's a very, very nice starting central defensive midfielder. Next up, boys, we've gone for an absolute tank in real life. It's Mr. Potato Salad himself, and it is Soucek. I've actually just watched the United v West Ham game. Controversial game, to say the least, and entertaining game, and Soucek, man, he's just a monster. He only got a +1 upgrade. And honestly, I reckon he should have been, if he was 81 this FIFA, he realistically should have been 83 or 84, but he just got a +1 to 82. Once again, he's still not the fastest out of, by any means, he's not fast at all, but still, he's very, very tall in game. His body type, he is huge, so defending, physical will 100% be his best attributes, and once again, he won't be too expensive, around that 5 to 10,000 coin mark. Now, to end off a cheap tier, boys, we have gone for mixed sauce, Scott Mctominay. Now, he is actually relatively okay. I'm pretty sure he's around 69, 70 pace. So with a shadow, he does go to around the 80 pace mark. And he is actually probably one of the better players from this cheap section. And McTominay is actually pretty good in game as well, going from past FIFAs. He's 6'4", so he's an absolute monster, but defensively, physical wise, he is absolutely class. And the fact that he's 6'4" with good defending and physical, and with a shadow he's got around the 80 pace mark, he's not all too bad, and he will definitely last as a good starter CDM. So boys, if I had to pick one player from this cheap tier list who I think is the best out of a lot, I'd probably lean towards Phillips or McTominay. I'll probably put it between them. It really depends. If you want a more defensive CDM, I would say McTominay, but if you want a CDM that feels better on the ball and can push forward, not as strong, not as big, then you go for Calvin Phillips. So I'll leave that up to you guys, but they're my top two for this cheap tier list spot. Next up boys, we're going to head over to the good tier, and it is Fabinho. Now lots of you will be saying you're choosing lots of slow CDMs, and yes, literally lots of the CDMs are slow. I believe there's actually 2 CDMs with over 80 pace on this without a chem style applied, and genuinely, man, look for yourself, man. The Premier League CDMs, lots of them are very slow, so I'm clutching at straws here, but still there are some really nice options here. So we've gone for Fabinho. Now he's got 68 pace, I'm pretty sure. He does go to around 78, 79 with a shadow, but the reason he is in a good tier instead of a cheap tier, firstly, I'd rank him above all of the players in the cheap tier, obviously, but his defending is sensational, and I loved his card in FIFA 20 it was, so 2 years ago now. And although he's taller, although he's not the fastest, with a shadow, he is very good, and his tackling animation is really good as well because of his height. I'm pretty sure he's 6'2", 6'3", incredible defending, physical. His interceptions as well are absolutely bang on. Once again, it's just that pace you'd want to get up a little bit, so make sure you put the correct chemistry style on in that situation. Next up boys, we have gone for Ndidi, who is an absolute monster. Let's just say that boys, he's an absolute monster. Tall, he's 85 rated this year as well. He's tall, strong, defensively he's insane, and his pace once again isn't the best, but it's not bad, especially for a starter card. Chuck a shadow on him and you'll be absolutely good to go. Now we are going to go for Sissoko. He's actually position changed from a centre mid, a 79 rated centre mid for Tottenham, to a 78 rated CDM for Watford. And although his stats don't look crazy, we all know Sissoko's been OP, and he has been the past 3 years, like since FIFA 19 Footmas, I think it was, or was it FIFA 20 Footmas he got that Footmas card. I feel like that's when the hype train for him literally started, and let's just say he's been OP ever since that, right? And he is going to be OP once again this year, because with a shadow he goes to around 85 pace in game, and he's got that defending, he's got the physical, and he's got that body type, which is genuinely all you need as a CDM. So our third player in a good tier is going to be Sissoko. Now our fourth player is going to be someone in real life who, some United fans will claim he should be 74 rated, but it is Fred. And I don't know how, but he somehow has maintained his 81 rating. And he's got some worse stats. I think he's got like -4 shooting, -1 pace, -2 defending, and like -1 physical. So although he maintained his rating, he went down in stats. And I've seen EA doing this with a lot of cards, but still, Fred is my best way to describe him, man, he's a budget Kante. He is a B-Tech Kante, because he's a CDM, he's got the small body type, and his interceptions are nuts. Good on the ball, 4-star as well, I think. Fred is literally a BT Kante, and I feel like he's a really good option for this good tier list. Next one, boys, and the final one that makes a good tier list, and in my opinion, the one I reckon is up there with one of the best options for this good section as well, is going to be Allan for Everton. He's maintained his 83 rating and received a position change from centre mid down to central defensive mid, and very well-rounded card. He's only got like 72 pace, which isn't crazy, but with a shadow he'll go to 82 pace, and very similar to Fred, he has got the small body type, but his interceptions is insane. And the reason I'll probably rank Fred and Allan up there together in this good tier is because of how both they both feel really good on the ball. They are both genuinely like B-Tech Kantes, if you will. So if I had to choose one out of this good tier, as I said, it's between Allan or Fred. I'm pretty sure Fred's got more pace, but Allan has better dribbling, I think defending, and I think physical's quite close. So it's really up to you guys, but Allan's body type is really good, and the thing that I think makes Allan so good is, his interceptions, but his agility, balance, and body type. They're the 4 things I think that makes Allan one of the best options in this good section. And to end it off, boys, the only elite CDM in the Premier League, drum roll please, it's pretty obvious, it's going to be the man himself, the UCL winner, the Premier League winner, N'Golo Kante, 90 rated, he's got 78 pace, chuck a shadow on him, he's got 88 pace. Defending insane. I was referring to Allan and Fred as the B-Tech Kantes, and now we've got the main man himself, the actual Kante in the elite tier. And it's only fair, man. I feel like it's justified. He's going to be very expensive, probably like hundreds and thousands of coins, but still, man, I'll probably say at the very beginning of the game, he's going to be worth it. And the thing with Kante, he's got a small body type, his balance is ridiculously good, so he feels really nice on the ball. His work rates are exceptional. He's going to be a stamina god, obviously, but the one thing I think that really makes me say yes, this Kante's insane is two things. In two stats I feel like all of the other, midfielders or CDMs in the good and cheap tier don't have, is his reactions and is his interceptions. Like, yes, obviously, as I said before, I think Fabinho and Fred, I'm pretty sure, had good interceptions. They do, but not as much as Kante. Kante's interceptions, lads, are genuinely out of this world. So for me, he has to be the only elite CDM. Hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know what league you want me to do. Next video, we are going to cover Premier League fullbacks. And as I said, these videos do take a while to edit, so a sub would be much appreciated. It's been your boy Davis. Hope you guys did enjoy. Once again, just to go over it, if I had to pick a player from the cheap tier, it'd probably be Mctominay or Calvin Phillips. From the good tier, I'd probably lean towards either an Allan, Fred, maybe a Sissoko if you're wanting a more defensive style player, but my heart probably lies with Allan or Fred. And for elite, there's only one man, which if you do have the coins, then it is going to be N'Golo Kante. Hope you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Davis, and stay awesome. See you later, boys.